Okay, we were going to call this like Sellers 2.0, but I don't want to confuse the issue because next month, next huge webinar is Pay-Per-Click 2.0. This is, for all of you Trekkies out there, this is Sellers, the next generation. This is, I would say, been the most eagerly awaited product release ever in Wailopo history. I mean, we announced it. Ernie was up on stage at our Tiger Lead Success Summit in Marina Del Rey. But, you know, good things come to those who wait. This was a beast for G and his team, for Ernie and his team, for Barry. This was a beast of an integration. And I am super, super pumped up because here we are today. So next slide. But, oh, nope, we got Slack. Okay. But before we start, I want to tease the big, enormous, giant release for next month. This is important for everybody that's on this, okay? Which is we've got about, you know, sort of maybe I would say max, maybe 7.5% of our clients on what we call our Pay-Per-Click 2.0 beta, okay? But we are now going to open beta, which is the next step before we go wide release. So before we actually launch this and sell this to the greater, you know, world, we want you guys to have an opportunity at it first, okay? So anybody that's been waiting for this wants to add pay-per-click to their social media marketing, okay, contact marketing@wailopo.com. The really, really good news is that, and this was a big decision, and you guys are gonna love it, you will not, this is gonna be huge news, you will not have to go up a marketing level to add pay-per-click, okay? So you not only are you gonna get a social media budget, but if you want, you will also be able to add a pay-per-click budget without having to go up a tech level. So that's enormous, enormous news. We wanted to give that back to our community. The new mantra, guys, write it down, is smother your market. Smother your market. You're gonna be everywhere. Diva branded ads everywhere. Watch the Kirby Schofield webinar we just did. You're gonna be Google, you're gonna be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You're gonna be everywhere, guys, okay? So that's it, enough of that. We are doing a full-on release next month for all you guys, but if you want it now, call email marketing. Next slide. Okay, so here I wanna bring in Ernie, and you know, Ernie, I just want to let everybody know that, you know, you and I, as we've been throwing back some beers over the last, you know, decade or so, we don't want to age ourselves. We've always talked about how cool it would be to work together again, and how cool it would be for Homebot, who's really leading the charge, you know, in your space. And we think Wailopo's leading the charge in our space, how someday we could work together because we saw the synergies, right? I mean, G and you, like right away, you guys saw the product synergies. And so I'm so excited now that we can officially launch this exclusive integration in the real estate space, and working together with you and now with both realtors and lenders. Truly, truly exciting. So Ernie, you know, why don't you take us through this slide, right? Why homeowner marketing is so essential right now.
So, you know, it's interesting, you know, with COVID, you know, it's really caused us to look at aspects of the product that we already had that was working really well, beef up some other things, but really kind of acknowledge how it fits with the times right now. And it's interesting though, as I go through this, most of the top producers out there always say, well, you should be doing this all the time. This shouldn't just be about COVID. And of course, but I think it's particularly important right now. And so the first one is helping your homeowners stay connected to what's happening in their market. You know, when craziness happens in the world, we know people get scared. Humans get scared. And so I always say there's, you know, you got good news, you got bad news, and you got one thing that's worse than bad news, which is no news. Not understanding how all that stuff out there is affecting your market, your zip code, your price range. And so the first thing that I'll just share with everybody is in Homebot, we have actually added a tremendous amount of new market action index. So it'll be consistent with what is already in Wailopo, and really helping people understand how, you know, how their market is changing, supply, demand, and what that means for them. The second thing is that, you know, of course, it's not just about how's all the craziness in the world affecting your market. It's also how's it affecting your home. And, you know, we know that home value has always been a very important important part of of the matrix of content that we bring to homeowners. But we've also really leaned into the ability of homeowners to, if they don't like their home value, they can actually now change their home value within a predetermined range. And that's just, quite frankly, it's a great engagement to get them connected to the agent to talk about home value. Because ultimately, it's the agent who understands the market the best. It's the agent that understands the home value the best. But this is content that we've really leaned into heavy. And like I said, what we're dealing with right now, it's never been more important to market and to connect with homeowners along their market and their home. People want to know what the impact is. Now, here's the third one. And for me, this is the big one. Really, really big. You guys know that, our thesis as a company with Homebot is pretty simple. We want to help homeowners build wealth through home ownership, period. But it's not just about the technology. It's about keeping them connected with their agent and their loan officer. And we call it like the trusted triad of people. And so, but this part about smart home finance, giving the gift of it. Here's the thing. Obviously, the Fed responded, lowered rates, the mortgage market. There are 5 to 10 million eligible homeowners right now for refi, and that fluctuates with rates, but that's a lot. New people that qualify. And here's my point. As an agent, you only have so many ways to reconnect with your clients that own homes over time. But when you bring your loan officer into this solution, you're really giving the gift of smart home finance. Specifically, I always say give the gift of refi, and especially right now. And, it's interesting because when you take a look at what COVID has done, it's a couple of things. A, there's refi opportunity. So as an agent, now you can bring the gift of refi to so many of your customers, which lowers their monthly payment. Number two, people care, whether it's pulling cash out, maybe selling and downsizing, or whatever it is that involves the finance of the home. Or, and we see a lot of people that want to maybe pull equity out and park it in an emergency fund because of the unknown and that sort of thing. But here's the point. As an agent with Homebot, since you can partner with your lender, you are now giving the package of the technology and the lender services to your client database. And again, in a lot of ways, as an industry, we're responsible for getting stimulus to our clients. We're responsible for getting relief and helping them understand. We're responsible actually for advising them more than ever and trying to make sense of all the stuff that's going on in the market. And I know we talked about that a lot. These first three things, it's just never been more important to leaning into these three elements. And the payoff is really simple. And the payoff is, the same today as it was yesterday, before COVID, last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. You want to be a great performer, build a great business, be the expert with your database, build trust with your database. And again, right now, I always say, crisis is very illuminating to character. It's very illuminating to the character of like Comcast. For me, where the internet sucks. Like I'm surprised this is coming through right now. It's illuminating. It's illuminating to all the agents and lenders who are connecting with their clients and their prospects, even if there's no transaction to be had. And this right now is such a powerful, overweighted time to build trust with an expanded database of past clients, but also prospects. And I think that the top producing agents and lenders really get that right now. And I'll end it with this. It's alpha dog time. It's alpha dog. The alpha dogs, I love that Chris Rock, Tiger's going tiger. You know what? That tiger's not crazy. That tiger went tiger. I'll tell you what's crazy is Tiger riding around on a tricycle. That's crazy.
You have a different background you want to show us?
What's that?
A different background you want to show us?
Yeah, there is. And that's a good way to end this whole.
So one thing, guys, which is the essence of Homebot and the essence of Wailopo, which is technology is not here to replace you, right? If you ain't first, give it to us, Ernie.
You ain't first, you're last.
That's it. So Homebot, Wailopo, it's all about conversation starters. Does Homebot always have to be exactly right? It's not about that, right?
That's right.
If they're arguing with you about their Homebot valuation, guess what? You are in a conversation with a potential seller, right? That's what this is all about. It's just giving you the conversation so that you can prove you're the expert about what's going on in their market, what's going on with their home. Are they ready to pull money out? Are they ready to sell? Right? Somebody's going to do both too, right? They're going to pull money out now, but you're now the expert. You've helped them. Eventually, they're going to sell with you. So boom, let's keep moving. Ernie, thank you so much. We are not worried.
Guys.
So awesome.
So excited about this, you guys. I can't tell you how excited I am to see all the Wailopo customers absolutely smother their market with this.
Yeah, and
good
this
luck,
is
everybody.
The beginning of us working together, because we've got so much more that G and your product team are going to be working on, just to keep bringing it up. Right?
Absolutely.
This is just a first release of it. Okay, so
awesome.
So guys, there's a lot of in the weeds stuff. We realized when we did this webinar, we got to do a lot of big picture things here. Why this is so important. And we don't have time to do why this is so important and then get through all the in the weeds stuff about how to really use the two tools so effectively together. So we've added another training webinar this Tuesday, okay, May 19th, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Sign up for that. Okay, you can go to the Wailopo Success Community, go to the events page, always have the links there. Success Community, events page, sign up for the detailed training webinar. Great. Having said that, I'm going to pass the baton to my partner in crimes, Dr. J and G Money. Go, guys.
Awesome. So when it comes to sellers, the next generation, there are 3 goals we had when we went into this, right? We wanted a better email nurture for seller leads. We've talked to a lot of clients. They've told us that on the seller side, it keeps in terms of keeping clients aware of their value. We're still using technology like Market Snapshot from literally a decade ago, right? So we want to increase the nurture ability of seller leads or homeowners. The second is we want even more effective remarketing for your sellers, right? We already do really effective remarketing, but we want to be even more effective. And third, we want to change the game when it comes to seller lead generation, because every single seller lead generation company out there is doing a variation of what's my home worth and then providing a screen where it says an agent's going to contact you, right? It's the classic bait and switch. And we're going to change the game on that by layering in lead generation on top of Homebot. So before we go into all the new features as part of next generation, I want to very quickly review what is in the current Wailopo Seller Suite, right? We've got a lot of new clients, I'm sure, on this webinar. We've got a lot of clients that have been with us a while, but as Howard always mentions to me, we go so fast, we add so many new features all the time that it can drown out what we've already done, right? So let me quickly review what we've already done. The first, seller email alerts. We already have seller email alerts, right? These alerts are going out to homeowners in our database that you've uploaded into our system. The homeowner is going to receive an email alert. And in that email alert, what we're going to provide them is for their particular zip code. We are going to give them market competitiveness data. We're going to tell them if it's a buyer market, a seller market, what the trends look like in the last 30 days. And the key of our current seller/homeowner emails is that we actually show them on the email recently sold, under contract, and active properties that directly impact their home price, right? Why is this important? It's value-added content that they're not getting anywhere else, but also this makes the emails themselves dynamic every single time we send it, which makes sure that they actually inbox into your clients' accounts, right? The second thing we do is we do dynamic remarketing, getting consumers into the home search experience, which we'll talk about in a second. If you click into one of these emails, what we have built out is a seller experience that is layered on top of a lot of data that are unique to you and unique to Wailopo that is going to sell the value proposition and why they should work with you. right? Prime example of this on the right-hand side here, we actually show every seller who clicks into your seller experience, the actual number of buyers interested in a similar home to them, right? With the call to action to schedule a private showing, which is, again, something that they're not going to get anywhere else. It's a USP for you, and is something that Ylopo is bringing exclusively from user experience to you. They're also able to see all sold data, on contract data, all of that good stuff, right? On the remarketing side, what is unique about what we're doing in remarketing is we actually take all of the just sold listings in your MLS, and then we bring it into the Facebook environment, right? So just as for active buyers, we're showing them listings that are just listed that they might be interested in. For homeowners, we're showing them nearby homes that recently sold that directly impact their home price, right? So from the remarketing screen, they are going to go back into the seller experience, engage with you there, and doing all of that great stuff. Now let me review.
Before you say that, I just want everybody to know that the current seller alert is actually telling homeowners how many buyers you have in your CRM. Because Ylopo is scanning your CRM, looking at search activity, and finding people that are looking for a home like theirs. The implications of this are massive. And what I'm excited about as we iterate on seller alerts, the new seller alert with Homebot, is that we're going to prioritize that number of buyers even more as we go. So we're not, we'll get into it more later, but just know that that is a really big selling feature for all of you. And its application is really just every facet of your business.
100%. So on the seller lead generation side, we are currently already generating seller leads for a lot of clients, right? How we're generating leads is right now 100% on social media, which is Facebook and Instagram. And the way we generate those leads is we target consumers with advertising. We do everything from showing them just solds to active listings that they can upgrade into or downgrade into. And bottom line is once they click on an ad, we show them a Facebook registration lead ad form. We get all their information, their address, if they actually own a home, and what they're interested in from selling a home, refinancing, all of that perspective, right? So that is what you just saw here, what seller email alerts we're sending out, what remarketing we're doing for consumers, and what are we doing to generate leads, right? So to summarize, Barry, love to kick it back to you, why the current seller toolkit is effective.
Yeah, so to be able to see as a home buyer what homes have sold recently is helping arm them with information that's helpful. I know that some other websites do offer that, but it's layered.
Home
so
seller,
you have to like.
Right? You said home buyer.
Home sellers, yeah, the home sellers. Well, but in the home search experience, so it's buyers searching for a home that are able to see the sold data. So it's adding value to buyers, even though it is a seller feature. You're able to leverage the sold data for remarketing. And this is pretty incredible because we're able to dynamically show homeowners homes that have sold in their newsfeed. And it keeps people coming back because whether or not you're looking at selling your home or not is secondary. Everybody cares what their home is worth. And so seeing what your neighbor sold their home for is all a big deal. I've already mentioned this, but buyers that are interested in your property, and it works into expired, FSBO, listing appointments, all of it. You're always relevant. And so, you're notified in your CRM currently. Raya is engaging with how many, she actually puts, hey, Mr. Seller, did you see how many buyers I have for your home? And then she puts it in there. So really the current seller toolkit is incredible for nurture. But like many things, you can go to the next slide, Ylopo wanted to make it even better. And so, the Homebot is effective because it is truly unique data. And we're going to show you what the data is. But this is not just check your home value. They're going to see what they owe on their mortgage. They're going to see, the most precise automated value and see what their equity is. And, homeowners open these emails because it's valuable. You can go.
And just to give you guys a sense of comparison, right? So our current seller alerts get about a 25% open rate, right? Which is pretty good. I mean, 1 out of 4 who receive the seller alert are opening up that alert, right? But for the Homebot experience, what Homebot is able to get is a 50% open rate. That is insane, right? So especially for sellers. That's why this is such a big deal.
Well, and then, lastly, we're adding immense value. Homebot is giving immense value to homeowners, but then also I now have a product that's valuable to my lender partner, because I'm able to, what you're going to see Homebot does is shows people how much money that they're able to save if they were to refinance their mortgage. I check my Homebot report. I'm a realtor. I own a home. I check it because it's actually data I can't find anywhere else. I'm telling you guys, you'll see in a moment. But then why Lopo and Homebot is effective in the sense of this integration, why this is such a big deal is on the next slide. We're able to combine sold data, sold listings, and this Homebot DNA report with, I think, 5 or 6 very unique data points that homeowners are going to thank you for sending them. And, so now they're able to see sold listings. They're able to see this DNA report. They're able to also see in this report, because of the Ylopo seller experience, how many buyers they have. We're taking the Homebot DNA, we're taking the number of buyers looking, and we're merging it into one report, one email. Instead of going into Homebot, and checking those reports. I've been doing that for the last several months. Who's opening, who's not. Now when they engage a Homebot digest, I'm in my CRM where I want to live anyway. I'm being notified of what they're doing. The dynamic remarketing, and along with the fact that these are unique data points, are going to also be able to be used by Ylopo for you to generate unique seller leads. Because when you're set apart in marketing, when you're different, that is compelling, and it's going to drive opportunities. And I see Howard jumped on, so he's probably got a nugget for us.
Really important questions. Let's go really quickly. So just someone wants to make sure that no matter what level they have, like Tech Plus, whatever, they're going to have access to this stuff.
Yes, this is going to be available for everyone on the Ylopo platform.
Okay,
and I'll walk through the details of that.
Okay, so it's available to everybody. Okay, this is a very, very, I think, important and interesting question. I have a take on it, but I'll let you guys answer it first. So the question is, how is the AVM different, better than what a seller could get from Zillow or Redfin?
Yeah, 100%. So I won't say where the data point comes from because I believe that's proprietary, but I will tell you that the home value, the what's your home worth AVM model is the same model that powers RPR, right? You guys all know what RPR is from NAR. That should give you a sense of how accurate it is. It is used by a lot of appraisers to get to the value. And so it is, a lot more accurate than the Zestimates. Obviously, all models have flaws in them, but the reason that Homebot chose this source is because of its accuracy.
Right. And what happens, like if I'm the agent, if I'm the agent, and I go, hey, you know what? Here's your Homebot valuation. Let me go pull this. I'm going to pull your Zillow valuation. I'm going to pull your Redfin valuation. I pull 4 valuations. I put it together. Here's your average. What am I doing, guys? I'm on a conversation, right? Okay, I am the expert. I pulled 4 AVMs from them. I said, but you know what? I'm the expert. I'm the one that's ultimately going to be able to value your home because let me go visit it. Oh, you're on a cul-de-sac. You're near the school. Okay, you're whatever it is, right? So ultimately, these are data points. They are conversation starters. But the key thing is that none of those other AVMs are so tightly integrated with Ylopo. Everything that Barry and G are taking you through now is this tight, seamless integration. Think about this, guys. Think about like covert ops, CIA, right? You've planted a bug inside the home and they're always checking it. They're always checking it, right? They're checking their stock portfolio. They're checking their Homebot valuation. And every time they check it, you get an alert, bam, right? Conversation starter.
Awesome.
And along in that same vein, that data, that AVM, automatic, what is it? Automatic valuation model. Anyway, yeah, it's in the industry. This is what desktop appraisals are used for. This is what the data that they use for those, like for mortgage companies and stuff like that. This is about as good as it gets. Okay, it's expensive data that we're not charging you for. We're on the hook for that with Homebot. We're investing in your business because we want you to add value to your sellers. And so the home evaluation numbers that they're going to be receiving are the best I've ever seen. The data is just that good.
Cool. Let's
Awesome.
keep going.
All right. Without further ado, let me introduce the Ylopo Homebot integration, right? So first things first, the most important thing is that on your seller alerts, at the very top of your seller alert, right, we first off change all the subject lines so that consumer knows they're actually going to be able to see what the value of their home is, all of that good stuff, right? On the top of the alert, we're going to have a giant button on here, right? The estimated value of your home, everything is grayed out. And if they click on the image or they click the unlock your home value, boom, they're going to take right into Homebot, right? One important thing to know is the rest of the seller alert is still on here, right? So if the consumer scrolls down a little bit, they're going to be able to see their market trends. They're going to be able to see just sold, under contract, and active listings directly impacting their home price. So we're combining for those of you who already have the Homebot alert or Homebot product, we'll speak to you later. But you know, you can all attest to how powerful the Homebot alert is. Well, guess what? On top of the existing Homebot alert, we are adding a significant amount of data that makes the alert unique, different, and hopefully will inbox even at a higher rate. Once you click on the Homebot alert, you go straight into the Homebot experience, right? Now, what makes Homebot very unique, and you'll see kind of different elements of it soon, is the first thing they're going to do is give you an estimated value of home. It's going to tell you, is it holding pretty steady? Is it increasing, decreasing? All that kind of stuff. They'll even, for certain alerts, provide a trend graph to tell you where everything is going. And here is the, you know, starting off what is so unique about Homebot that no one else has, right? It is going to actually run all of your mortgage data for the consumer into this report and actually start showing you relevant data related to you specifically in your mortgage, right? So what this means is that consumer not only sees the value of their home, they also see what is the net worth of the home to you, right? Based on your loan variable. This is a screenshot, so I can't pull it up, but on the left-hand side of Homebot, if you clicked on this button, it will actually show you all of your mortgages for this home in one place. So you can actually verify that, right? This is data that no other platform has. So as you scroll down in the Homebot report, you can actually see how much money you've paid toward principal, how much money you've paid toward interest. You can see if you refinanced from your current financing into different type of financial products, whether it's 15-year fixed, 25 years fixed. If you click on more options, there's like 9 more options that you can look at for anyone that's interested. But these are going to show you what you actually save when you refinance, right? If someone clicks on one of these experiences, if someone requests information, guess what? This is a prime lead for your lenders on the refinancing side. We'll talk to how lenders can access this data in a little bit as well. Now, it gives you different tool tips. You spend a little extra money, you're going to save total XYZ. This is the part that as a realtor, I think you guys are going to be most interested in, right? Because not only is this report going to tell you what all of the financing options are, it's going to give you also a sense of if you bought another home or you sell this home and buy a new home, exactly what you can do, right? So in here, if you buy your dream home, you can spend 1.15 million. If you buy an investment property, you can spend this. If you rent your home and buy another one, you can spend that. If you sell your home, how much cash you can pocket. You can imagine if a consumer is coming into this experience, clicking on any of those variables, guess what? They're an amazing seller lead, right? So there's layers on layers of interaction and data in here that is unique to this person, unique to their mortgage situation, and data that they're not going to get anywhere else, right? This report even goes into detail of if they rented their home on Airbnb, obviously not today, but in general, how much money could they make from this experience and how they impact all of their mortgage, right? So you can see top to bottom here, what the Homebot team has done is done an amazing job of understanding what is a homeowner DNA report that will show them all of the details of their home and what are the action items a consumer can take that gives you guys intelligence about the directions that they're thinking, right? So it's an incredibly popular report. And guess what? The vast majority of people who have Homebot are on the mortgage side, right? This was originally built as a product for LOs. You can see all the refinance data that's in here. What this means is that you as a realtor, especially on the Ylopo platform, have essentially, for the vast majority of you, 95% of you, a first look into this technology in our vertical, that you are giving something of value to your consumers. So the chances of them also receiving another Homebot report, very, very low, right? Once the lead comes into the Homebot experience, we are going to immediately send you a priority lead notification, right? So you're going to see a priority lead notification. This person returned after a certain amount of time, or this person, came in on your Homebot experience, whatever that is, right? One thing for you guys to note, this is a note, is that this integration that you guys are seeing right here is our V1 integration, right? When you integrate two really complex products together, there's things that happen. There's V2, V3, V4, improvements that you're going to see. Just give us a little forgiveness on things that are clunky, or that things that we haven't done yet. And the reason I say that is because there are aspects of what we're doing here that we don't know what is the best alerts to send you and all this kind of stuff. An example of that is priority notification. Every single time a consumer clicks on the Homebot experience and goes into Homebot, we're going to alert you of priority notification, right? What that means is in the sub notifications, if someone clicks on a button, clicks on this button, clicks on that button, we already sent you a priority notification, right? So you have the opportunity to follow up with that person. Right now, we do not have a separate priority notification that tells you, hey, this person clicked on this button or that button, right? We absolutely have that technology. One of the things we're going to be looking out for you guys, looking from you guys, is feedback about, hey, you know what? It would be great if I get an alert about this. It would be spammy if I got these 5 alerts, right? So if you have any feedback for us on this integration, really any part of our product, send it to product@ylopo.com. My product team views every one of those emails. So priority notification is an example of that. Barry, did you have something to say?
If you could type that in, product@ylopo.com. And guys, it's mindset, right? You guys know I'm always lecturing about surround yourself with positive people. Excise the negative people from your life, right? Positive mindset. Okay. You guys are in the first release ever in the real estate world. There is no other integration like this. It does not exist. Okay. And so you guys are going to be on the front lines. And as G has said, let me reiterate, okay, you're on the front lines. Don't think about this like, hey, why doesn't it do that? And this is broken and you're all negative. Be positive. You guys are in the lab, right? And you can be like, hey, I'm in the lab. I get to private, message Barry or G or a post in the Ylopo Success community. Think about them as improvements. Improvements as we continue to improve this product. We'll continue to improve this integration for the next year. Okay, guys, stay positive, and it's going to get better and better and better and better.
100%.
Well, and
go ahead.
I've never met a homeowner that is excited about selling their home. Okay, the only person excited is the agent. And so, when we get someone checking our home value as the agent, we're excited. Hey, you want to sell your home? But with regards to this data, this is a great way to be relevant, but coming from contribution. This data, they can't get this data on Zillow. They can't get it on Redfin, okay? Like, this is data that truly is hard to obtain. And because we've made it automated and integrated it with your system, you're able to contact a homeowner and say, I'm sure you're not ready to sell yet, but did you happen to see how much equity you have in my report? And, oh yeah, I think you had 300 people shopping for a home like yours. I'm sure you don't want to sell, but did you happen to see that? It's game over, guys. If they're even considering selling, you just made it super easy for them.
Yeah, and really quickly, a couple people are asking, like, so do I need to get this through Homebot or get this through Ylopo? And are you guys going to sell this to, like, the greater world? So, guys, understand, okay, this is only for Ylopo clients. You will need to be a Ylopo client. If you're a Ylopo client, guess what? You get this. You get this. We are not charging you extra for this, right? Our tech suite keeps improving. So you get this. You just have to be a Ylopo client. If you're not a Ylopo client, you are SOL.
Yeah, there's a corollary to the free part because it's not infinitely free. As you can imagine, there's hard costs associated with this, but we will talk about that later. It is free for 98% of our clients. Awesome.
Okay, for people who have massive imports, okay, we'll talk about that. But like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
but still,
Yeah.
right?
You got 20,000 leads, we're going to have to charge you, right? So, yeah, this is also going to change all of our remarketing, right? So when a consumer clicks on one of these reports in the very near future, we're going to update our seller marketing report. We're going to have their home valuation at the very top, a lot of different ways for them to go into the Homebot experience. They click any of those things and they go directly into Homebot, right? Another big thing that you can do is keep in mind for the people who have the Homebot alert, right, and have Ylopo, you have to log into a couple of different places to add leads. You're going to have to add a lead inside Homebot. It doesn't connect to Ylopo, you know, all of that good stuff, right? Well, the good news is everything's connected now, right? So what that means is you can go into Stars, create a seller alert, give us the address of that lead, boom, we set up on the homeowner alert that we just showed you, right? So this is, you know, some parts of the key integrations between the two products. So now that I've talked about seller nurture, I want to talk about seller lead generation, right? Because just as important to nurturing your new leads, we want to create new opportunities for you from a seller lead generation perspective. Here is why we believe on seller lead generation, our lead funnel combined with Homebot is going to be light years ahead of the competition, right? The first thing is the report itself actually is an amazing value proposition for the consumer, right? Once they register, they're going to go into Homebot and they're going to be blown away by the value you're delivering that is actually compelling, right? Compare that to the average seller experience where it's like, what's my home worth? I type in the data. I give you the contact information. A thank you screen pops up that says, thanks for giving me information. Someone will get back to you. That's called a bait and switch, right? So this experience actually provides them value, which is going to make the downstream conversations with them that much easier. Leads are automatically routed into your CRM, so you don't have to deal with any of the setup processes. It's going to be sent into your seller nurture. They're going to start receiving Homebot email, seller lead generation alerts, all that good stuff. And of course, we've got Raya scripts specifically for sellers that are going to kick off as soon as the seller lead generation kicks off, right? So on the seller lead generation side, the average consumer is going to come into your seller lead funnel from two perspectives, right? It's going to come from PPC and it's going to come from social, right? So with seller lead generation, what's great is we are actually going to bring seller lead PPC lead generation to our PPC 2.0 suite, right? We'll talk more about this in our PPC kind of launch, probably late next month. But we are going to have an entry point where someone types in what's my home worth. We run an advertisement. It's going to drive into our seller experience, right? Same thing on the Facebook side. We're able to generate an ad, target homeowners, show them a combination of active homes that they can upgrade or downgrade into, or homes that just sold that recently impact their home price. For either AdWords or for social, when a consumer goes into your seller experience, they're going to immediately be greeted by, obviously, what's your home worth, typing your address, but it's going to show them a rotation of all of the reasons and reporting they're going to get once they actually provide what's their home worth, right? Consumer provides their address, they provide a phone number, they provide a full name email address, right? There's a really important nuance here. There is a reason why we segmented out phone number and full name and email address. The reason most other people do phone number, email address, contact information all in one form, right? The reason for that is because we have found there are 70% more people who just give us their phone number versus giving us their phone number, full name, and email address, right? Guess what? Those people who give us their phone number, those are people we can text through Raya, right? So you are going to, just by making that simple change, which is a lot of testing on our side, you're going to get 70% more partial complete leads than, if you were to generate these leads yourself, right? So your cost per lead for creating a legitimate seller opportunity is going to be dramatically lower. Once the consumer gives their contact information, they're going to be asked a couple of other questions about their seller, seller intent, homeowner intent, all that kind of stuff. And then boom, once they register, they're going to get taken right into the Homebot experience, and all of the rest of our magic is going to be set up, right? You're going to receive a priority notification about that, of course, a new lead registration note, and you can kind of take it from there, right? One thing to know about the seller experience is On the seller lead generation side, because we know exactly why this consumer has come to the site, they have completed our, terms of service privacy policy. So we have TCPA consent to text that person. Raya is turned on, right? For homeowner lead nurture, right, where we're taking your database of leads like past clients and all this kind of stuff, you give it to us, and then we're selling them a Homebot message. We're generating a priority lead for you, but we are not yet sending out Raya conversations to your database, right? Why is that? Two reasons. The first is because these are a lot of your past clients, you may think that you have permission to text those people, but they have never given you express permission, right? That means that we have to get their TCPA consent again before we can start texting them. And that's a feature we're going to build very soon here. The second is because we don't really know what to text them about yet. There's so much rich data in here. There's so much different conversations that you could take, back and forth, that we want to wait for our clients to give us the proper scripting before we go and attach Raya to everything that we're doing, right? So pay particular close attention to your priority notifications about homeowners engaging with the Homebot process. And again, if you have suggestions of, hey, unique ways that we can use Raya in this flow, send it to product@ylopo.com. We can look at it. We can add to our future iterations, right? So, why is this a big deal? Barry Howard, do you want to take this one?
Barry, you want it? I'll take it. It's up to you, buddy.
I can't contain myself. I'm bubbling over. I just listened to all this coolness from G. I referenced this earlier, but it's all about bringing value. Okay, it's all about bringing value. If your data that you're providing your clients is something they can get on their own without you, that's not enough value. And when you're trying to develop trust, you can do that in a very effective way by signing somebody up to this Homebot report, because differentiation is what really a seller is looking for. How is this agent different from the other 4 that I've interviewed? And this is a digital way to be able to do that. The next thing, instead of having to go in to Homebot and review the report, because that's what I've been doing. I'll go through and look at the seller alert inside of Homebot. We want you in your CRM. We know you're going to make more money in your CRM. And so that's how we're going to be able to notify you when someone is interested in selling. If they engage the seller experience and they look at a specific piece of data, it's going to be notifying you in your CRM. For example, there's all kinds of ways they engage it, but there's all these little knobs inside of the report, and we are going to be sharing that data with you that they're looking at it. And then, this last one.
Number 2, guys, it was a copy and paste error. The text for number 2, don't worry about it. That was for pay-per-click, which we already talked about. So that's got nothing to do with it. The early warning notification, you guys are on, think about it like, let's call it like NORAD. Remember like NORAD, like the early warning system that like missiles are coming in? You guys have like this early warning system, NORAD, that potentially this person is a seller. Cool.
Well, and
no.
Wow, I'm not sure what's going on there, but so along the same vein of number 2, I would say that once you start doing what Ylopo is teaching, I came into Ylopo with 6,000 contacts. Now I've got over 100,000. And when you really buy into this, I'm able to sit at my computer and look at people that own their home and watch what they're doing and how they're engaging. It's compelling. But this number 3 here, going along that same line of having data that's different. One of the things that I've been working on is I recorded a generic Homebot digest. And the video says, oh, hey, Mr. Seller, I happened to be in my reporting software. I saw you were looking at your home value. I could just send you what your home is worth, but I thought I'd also let you know I've got like 5 or 6 other data points I could share with you for free. Let me know if you'd like to see that. And it's a screen share. It's me going through somebody else's home digest. And it automatically sends through BombBomb, and the engagement rate is crazy high. People are responding to it because they're like, yeah, I want to know how much equity I have. Can you pull that up for me? Because they don't know what their principal balance is. And so again, I know I don't want to beat a dead horse, but like it is different. And you guys, your responsibility is speaking to your clients about it because it is going to set you apart.
mean, everything about Wailopo. Oh, okay, there we go. Why is this a big deal? Professor Barry has never been more excited about seller lead gen and nurture. Now, if you were wondering why you're on this webinar, it's really to see Dr. J's dance here. He is.
Yep.
But think about this, guys. Think about this. Everything we do, right? Why are you with Wailopo? I always think about this all the time. Like, why is G such a genius at what he does? Because everything we do is dynamic. What does that mean? Like, we always say dynamic, dynamic, dynamic. What does that mean? It means that we are capitalizing on data that's always changing. We did this with buyers, right? Buyer search behavior is dating, right? And then G came up with like bonded, listing alerts. Like when they get bonded to a certain type of house, we know that, right? We're sending them the appropriate listing alerts, right? Dynamic remarketing, showing the right house to the right person at the right time. Data is always changing. Everything we're doing with MLS, like MLS always changing, like new homes in the market, pendings, price decreases, all of that, everything's changing. Well, guess what? Things are always changing in their market and with their home, right? And that value is going up and down. And it's a perpetual conversation starter forever with anyone who is a potential seller. Truly dynamic, truly exciting. Barry, I never want to see that dance again, is truly excited.
You taught me all my moves, man. What are you talking about?
Your moves, man. Your moves.
Gee, before you go to the next section, one of the most compelling expired in FSBO. I mean, I didn't want you to. Before the most compelling expired in FSBO script I ever had, and I got lots and lots of listings off of it, was just to say to a homeowner, I saw you didn't sell. I think I know why. I'd like to share with you over the phone. And people would call me back and say, out of the 50 voicemails I received, yours was actually different. Can we discuss it? And in that same vein, you're able to say, I've got a quick equity checkup tool. Would you like to see how much equity you have? It's instant and free. I've got a cool tool that won't run your credit, but it'll share like 7 different refi options.
Yeah.
I've got a mortgage reduction tool, so anyway, a lot of different features.
Well, hold on, guys. I want to make a PSA announcement on that. So we will talk more about FSBOs and expireds and all this kind of stuff and, advanced strategy you can do there. But we are not going to allow you to import in circle prospecting data like Cole or Remine, and we're not going to allow you to bring in expired data into this, right? Why? You do not have permission to text and email all those people, right? They did not give you express permission. You bought that data. So there's some legal issues with emailing them a Homebot report. The second reason is because when you send emails to people who aren't expecting it, you have a really high spam rate. We've seen spam rates of 1 to 3%, which, by the way, is probably 30 to 50x the normal, right? So what Gmail and what Yahoo and all these guys are going to do is they're going to block your website domain from being able to get into someone's email account, right? So that means all your buyer alerts, all your legitimate seller alerts, they're all not going to get through, right? So this is something I want everyone to think about. We will go through some advanced strategies for what you can do when you're actually talking to a FSBO expired, but you are not going to be allowed, for your own safety and the safety of your domain and your email alerts, to be able to import that data into the system.
So,
yeah, thank you. And to be clear, I was talking about verbally in a conversation, but thank you for clarifying, G, because that is important.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm reading all of the comments. They are awesome. They are incredibly positive. They are hilarious. You guys just make the best comments. I am cracking up. But there was a few questions that I think are around the same point and very, very important. And these questions revolve, G and Barry, around like, how do I explain Homebot to my seller? What's the best way to kind of like package this and show this to my potential, listing or my potential seller there? So our folks are excited about it, but they want a little guidance from us on like, how do they kind of explain this, to their seller? So I don't know who wants to, take that on.
Barry?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, look, before you just shotgun all these features because you're excited about Homebot, I don't want to get into sales training, but you need to find out what's motivating them before you try to motivate them. Okay, so you've got to ask a lot of questions. Some people say, I want to sell because of, I want to buy a boat. Some people say, I want to sell because I think the market's going to go down soon. There's all these different motivations. listen to what they're saying, and then scratch their itch. Now, if you don't know anything and you just want to email your clients and say, "Hi, I've got this new tool," I would use the 4 talking points that I've said. Do you want to find out how much equity you have instantly? That would be 1. Do you want to find out how to pay down your mortgage via this cool mortgage hack that can reduce your mortgage by 10 years? Because that feature's in there. Do you want to find out instantly what you could rent your home for in Airbnb? Do you, what's the other one? Oh, do you want to see 7 different refi options without running your credit? So these are very compelling things to someone that owns a home, setting aside the fact, do they want to sell or not? These are I'm interested in all of that.
I would imagine,
can we all agree?
I would imagine, maybe I'm wrong, I would imagine this is a great opportunity to use BombBomb, right? Like create a BombBomb video.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's what I've already been doing.
Yeah. Create a Loom video, right? Use BombBomb, right? You could probably do it in a way where you can just send it out to a lot of folks, right? Or there's probably a way to do it, obviously, to really, really personalize it and go into the Homebot for that particular person and send that as a vid mail through BombBomb, and that would crush.
Yeah, my agents do that. They'll pull up the report, and it's almost like doing a CMA in front of the client when you're trying to get the listing appointment. And the way we approach it is we're not super excited about the data. We're like, yeah, here's how much equity you have. We're not trying to sell Homebot to our seller. Okay, what we're doing is trying to set ourselves apart, and this works, guys. It really does. So hopefully that helps the individual that was asking.
Gee, very quickly, obviously, a lot of our Canadian clients are kind of bummed, right? Because in a lot of the Canadian MLSs, they don't show sold data. We have one client who points out that you can show sold data in Vancouver area of Canada. So would it work there for them?
No, not yet. We're looking into it heavily. As our Canadian clients know, the vast majority of Canada, there's no access to sold data. The only 2 places I know of now is one Vancouver and the second is Toronto. We've got to look at all of that sold data and see if we can create what are called derivative products from that. A lot of the MLSs actually prevent you from doing that in their contract. But don't worry, we're going to try our hardest to get as many of these features live in Canada as possible. It's
awesome. Awesome. All right. So don't fret, Canadians. We are working hard for you. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, awesome. So new seller lead generation that you've all seen, we're going to go ahead and test that for a couple more weeks. So early to mid-June, we're going to do a follow-up webinar on lead generation. Probably we're going to combine it with seller or PPC lead generation. We're going to do a whole nother webinar on this topic so that we can get as many of you who are interested in generating new seller leads onto our new process. We will probably take all of our clients who are already doing seller lead generation and just switch them over to the new process once we found the efficacy and we've optimized it on our end. So your lender partners are going to love this integration, right? Because of all of the refi data that's going to come out of it, right? Now, there's a couple of things to know before I get into this. For compliance and RESPA, co-marketing RESPA reasons, we cannot provide this product to lenders directly, right? We as Ylopo are essentially paying for Homebot for all of our real estate clients. In order for the lender to have access to all of this data for RESPA and co-marketing, they have to go to Homebot and actually get a license from them. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It just is something that allows them to be able to access all of this data. You can invite them on the back end of Homebot. We will show you how to do that, probably in our Tuesday webinar when we get into the details, right? So just know for lenders, for RESPA and co-marketing reasons, you have to add them, or they can, add themselves to Homebot, pay them a fee so that they can become fully compliant in marketing.
But it's not like a really big fee, right, G?
No. It's a very de minimis fee. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a really small de minimis fee for your lenders. Make sure your lenders separately sign up for Homebot. Everybody needs to be RESPA compliant, and the lenders will get their branding out of it. It's a win for them. Make sure they do it.
Yeah. Exactly. They get a whole host of features, all that kind of stuff. You actually get some extra features too, so it's well worth it.
Win-win.
And what's great, why are lenders going to love this integration, right? They're going to get all of this refinance data about leads, which is really, really valuable for them. But think about this. What are you doing? You're taking all of your homeowners and potential sellers in your database, you're uploading it into our system, and then we're generating all of this activity for you via our Homebot White integration. Guess what? Those were opportunities that your lender does not have at all in their database, right? So you are introducing brand new opportunities to them that they didn't have before, right? If a lender licensed this product and said, hey, you know, I'm going to bring in all of my deals into this, all of my homeowners into the Homebot experience. Well, guess what? They're only importing past deals that they have done themselves. They're not getting incremental business from new leads, right? So by you introducing them to this process, you are bringing your opportunities to them, which is why they're going to absolutely love it, you know, and they're going to get value and deals and ROI from it, right? I think what you're going to get for your lender partners, 1 or 2 deals very quickly that pays for Homebot for like 5 years, right? So, you know, we're adding with this integration more value to the conversations they're already having. We're giving them an early warning system on notifications, which they're going to receive both from White and they're going to receive from Homebot. Barry, anything else to add on the lender side?
There's a kind of a important question here. Can we have more than one lender?
That is a question for Homebot. I don't know.
Okay, Homebot question. All right. By far, most of our clients have one, you know, lender partner. It's, you know, there are a few who've got more than one. Up till now, that's been, you know, okay. But this is something we'll have to kind of dig into. But guys, at the very, very high level, and Kiwi, you know, I think at some point we should definitely schedule a webinar on, you know, how the White system provides equal value to lenders and how folks who don't even have lenders yet, you know, can basically create a nice presentation to their lenders to help them become co-marketers, like on the program. You know, we've done this before. We haven't done it in a while. And I think we've just taken the lender value piece to the next level, right? Star Trek, next generation. It's the next generation of value to lenders. So let's do this again, because, hey, if you aspire to double your marketing budget, which you should, right? But you don't have a lender partner, you bring a lender partner in who pays for 50%, right? Now, boom, you can now double your marketing budget. Bam.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, those are all great points. I would just add that most agents don't give any value to their lenders. And so this would be a tremendous amount of value to your lender. You know, you'd actually be able to show them these people are engaging their home value and refinances and be able to tee up just so much opportunity for them. And that's going to help you because you're going to be able to buy more leads.
And guys,
and to answer the question,
go ahead.
There's one question that keeps coming up. You know, what if my lender and I already partner? Well, you know, if we're all being honest, right now, it's all housed in the Homebot ecosystem. And so the reason why your lender and you, even though you have this, should be excited is now all those alerts are going to flow into your CRM. And so opportunities are not going to be lost to the same way they were, and we're reducing your daily workflow.
Awesome.
So guys, if you know, are super excited about what we have covered, like hold on to your seat, because we are now, Gia's going to talk about the next generation of the White Homebot integration.
Yeah, so there's a lot of other stuff that's coming. I'm going to give you a preview of our Seller Alerts 2.0 that we're building out right now as we speak. Probably the biggest thing that we're going to release in version 2 of our Homebot integration, which is just going to be a couple of weeks from now, is the ability for you to see the Homebot report that we sent to the consumer right inside Stars, right? We haven't done that yet because, you know, A, there's complexities to that integration, but B, more importantly, we don't really know what data is valuable to you from Homebot into Stars, right? There may be things that you are seeing on the Homebot side that you don't see if we just sent, you know, or we just showed you, you know, the Homebot report inside Stars. So if you have suggestions of what you want to see inside Stars, that's another thing that you can send to us on the product side, and we will incorporate it, which means that we're actually going to give a Homebot account to every single one of our clients so that you can log in, see all the details of what's going on with every single lead that you have, right? Another thing we're working on is auto import of seller sources, right? So if you have seller leads coming in from Bold Leads, from Zillow, from whatever the source is, we will have a checkbox that allows you to say this particular source, set them up on seller alerts for any new leads coming in. And then of course our auto import is going to work, our seller nurture is going to work, our RI is going to work, all that kind of stuff. And we are even exploring and looking at how we take all of the seller data we're bringing in and turn it into push listings as well. So you can do on-demand seller nurture to your clients, right? So just as a preview, to give an example of the type of stuff that we're going to bring out in V2 and V3, here is the new seller alert we're working on, right? At the very top of the page, we're still going to have the home valuation button from, Homebot. We are going to show the homeowner buyer activity and how many buyer leads you have looking for specifically their home right inside the email alert. And we've completely redone what listings look like within a listing alert setting. This is actually what our future listing alerts are going to look like. And I think this design is unique. No one else is going to have it in the industry, and it's going to get insane engagement rates, right? So more on that to come. Okay, from going forward, we've talked about strategies. We've talked about, what the Homebot experience looks like and all this kind of stuff. We are now going to get into the tactical, right, of how do we turn on Homebot for all of our clients who are on here, right? So the first thing is, if you have questions about Homebot in general, we have like literally 19 pages of articles to help you set up a Homebot. Homebot is one of, if not the most sophisticated integrations we've done. There are a lot of details all the way from how you add a lender to how do you access the Homebot report, all that kind of stuff. If you go into the Ylopo Academy, which is at the top of Mission Control, or you go to ylopo.zendesk.com, you are going to go into our knowledge base. Once you're in our knowledge base, just type in the word Homebot. You're going to go to the overview section, which is going to have all of our help articles there. So if you have nitty-gritty questions, chances are we've already answered them in our FAQ or in our report. You can just go in there, answer your own questions, or of course, email support@ylopo.com.
But the key thing, Chief, because we are at the top of the hour, right? And we're going to stay on, okay? But the key thing is that we're going to be doing this, we're going to do this training again on Tuesday, right?
Yep, we are. Yep, Tuesday at 11 o'clock.
Tuesday at 11 o'clock. It's all going to be the in the weeds stuff, none of the hype stuff. So all the in the weeds stuff. But let's try to get through this. We know some folks have to go because, like I said, we're top of the hour. But make sure you are on Tuesday's webinar, Ylopo Success Community. Go to the events page. Get onto Tuesday's training.
Yep, 100%. So, we're going to start importing all of your leads. Like I said, again, Homebot is free up to 500 leads that we're going to import on your behalf and nurture on your behalf for all clients on all of the Ylopo tiers, right? The reason that it is up to 500 is because we've done analysis on our clients' database, and in 95 to 98% of the time for our clients, they do not have more than 500 leads, right? So this is going to be free for the vast, vast, vast majority of our clients. There are going to be some clients that have more than 500 leads. We have, hard costs associated with Homebot that we are paying to Homebot. We will pass those fees on to you above 500 tiers, right? So we're not going to extra charge you, make money from this. This is absolutely what Howard will call a cost center for us, because we are spending our own money to bring you these tools. But beyond a certain number, we are going to pass through the cost that Homebot sends over to you, right? So we'll talk about the costs in a second here. So conditions and restrictions for Homebot usage, right? Homebot is a very powerful tool, but there are scenarios where you can abuse.
It was a confusion. The question is that $500 per office or $500 for all the agents on my team? This has got nothing to do with with an office or agents on your team. It's for people who are doing mass import of more than 500 seller leads. Okay.
Yeah. No dollar figures associated with that. 500 seller leads. Basically, the way the pricing is going to work is if you have more than 500 leads, we are going to charge you $25 per month for each additional 500 leads you bring into the system, right? So like I said, that 500 leads to cover 95% of their clients. That $25 is the fee that we are paying to Homebot, which is why we are charging you that fee. For the first 500 sellers that you import our system, it's 100% free, right?
Another tricky question is, we knew someone would ask it. What happens if someone's already signed up for Homebot on their own, or they recently signed up for Homebot?
Yeah. So I will answer those questions in detail on Tuesday, right? Because it is a bear to go into that. It is a nitty-gritty issue, right? basically, the way to think about it, if you already have a Homebot account, which is about 75 clients on our platform, so it's less than 10%, right? About 5% of our clients. If you already have Homebot, there are features that you have access to on the Homebot integration or Homebot platform that you will not have access to on the Ylopo side, just because the one integration, so on and so forth, right? For instance, every single account that we create that's Homebot for our clients is at the team level, right? So if you have a team, you're going to have one Homebot report that you send out with the team owner's contact information or with whatever information for your particular team, right? On Homebot, you are able to actually get the agent branding for every single agent within the Homebot experience. That's already fantastic, right? So you're going to miss out on some features that you might want with your existing Homebot account, in which case it doesn't make sense to cancel. It is $25, right, a month for Homebot, which is for realtors, which is not a lot. So if you want those features, you definitely can keep them. If you don't value those features and you want to switch over to Ylopo, you can do that. You can cancel with Homebot. They will export the leads for you. Then you import it into Ylopo. So it's a little bit of a process, but you can absolutely do that. So it's going to be up to you, and I will explain the nuances of that on Tuesday. So the other condition, two conditions on Homebot usage is that we ask you only import leads or past clients, hot prospects, and leads that you have generated from your own marketing, right? We do not want you to import leads for circle prospecting like Remind and Cole, and or FSBO expired data like from Vulcan or RedX, right? The reason is, once again, because when we send out these emails, there's legal issues, and also there's a really high spam rate that's going to get your domain blocked for future emails, right? So it's going to hurt you long term for you to do that, and so we are protecting your reputation by asking you not to bring those leads in. In addition to that, if you bring a lot of those leads in, there's hard costs associated with that, right? So you end up paying more dollars to bring all of those leads in, which, is highly not recommended. And we're going to try to police that as much as possible. The other requirement is that only leads imported using our seller Excel template, which I'll show you guys in a second, will be imported in our system, right? I fully expect to get Homebot live for all 1,500 to 1,600 clients on our platform. You can imagine sending us Excel spreadsheets of 1,500 to 1,600, Excel spreadsheets all in the different formats is going to be insane for us to try to import. We want to try to get all 1,500, 1,600 of you clients imported by the end of this month to the middle of next month, which is a Herculean task for our team, right? What that means is we're asking for you to help us. If you go to ylopo.com/Homebot, ylopo.com/Homebot, you will be taken to a page that allows you to set up your import process, right? At the very top of your page, we're going to say download Excel template for importing Homebot leads. You click on that link, you're going to get an Excel spreadsheet from us. Take your sellers, follow this Excel format, send it to us on this form. It's going to have a lot of questions and all this kind of stuff on the bottom, as well as an ability for you to upload the form. When you upload that, send it to us. We're going to turn that around, import it within 24 to 48 hours, right? So my advice is everyone who's still on the webinar, go to this link, get us their sellers today or tomorrow, right? Because as soon as you give us the spreadsheet, first come, first serve, we are going to start importing them in our system. You are going to get Homebot turned on in the next 24 to 48 hours, right? 2 to 3 business days. And so, all of you guys start doing this process. My other advice is for all the leads that are current seller leads in our system that have a home address, this is the key. They will automatically be set up for Homebot alerts, right? The problem with this is before a Homebot integration, we didn't use your address, the homeowner's address, for anything, right? So we only used the zip code of that particular prospect. We saved all the addresses, but there could be quite a few of your sellers that in our system that do not have home addresses, and they're not going to receive a Homebot seller alert, right? So my advice is to every single person on here, even if you have done a current seller lead import into our system, do it again, just send us the spreadsheet one more time. That way we guarantee that we are not going to create any, or we are going to create alerts for everyone that should get alerts, right? So once again, ylopo.com/Homebot, You're going to get to a form, download the Excel template, and then fill out this setup form so that we can get you started on Homebot. Please do this today or tomorrow. That way, come next week, we are going to already have imported your leads. And by Tuesday, when we do the webinar, you can ask me all of the detailed questions that you want because you are already going to have done your import, right? Once you have sent us a seller alert, your sellers via a spreadsheet, we're going to load into our system, automatically turn on Homebot Nurture. You don't have to do anything else, right? So just upload the leads. We're going to turn it on our side. That's all you need to know. And then you're going to start receiving priority alerts already into your system. That's how you're going to know Homebot is working, because we'll send you a priority alert every time someone logs into Homebot. Now, accessing Homebot, right? So once again, for people who are doing something on the Homebot report, we send you a priority notification so that you know about it right away, right? But what if a consumer says to you, or you, before you talk to the consumer, you say to yourself, well, I want to be able to see the report that Homebot sent this consumer, right? Here's how you do it. In the future, like I said, in the very near future, we're going to drop that into stars, right? So that it's even easier for you. Today, because we don't know exactly what you want from the Homebot experience, we allow you to log into your Homebot account. We actually created an account for every single licensee. And so if you go to Mission Control and click on the Visit Homebot button underneath the Marketing tab, or you go to admin.homebotapp.com/login. I know that's a little long, or you can go to the Homebot website and press login. It's totally up to you. If you either click on Visit Homebot or go to this link, you will get taken to a screen that says Welcome to Homebot, right? If you don't need a login and password for Homebot, you're going to create it yourself, right? But what you're going to do is enter in the email address that you use to log into Ylopo, right? If you don't know what that is, email support@ylopo.com. We will send it back to you, right? Once you put in your email that you log into Ylopo from, you are going to get an email into that email data, or into your email client, right? And what is going to be contained in that email is what's called a magic link. That link, when you click on it, just like when you confirm something, a double opt-in registration from like a bank or whatever is the case, when you click on that email, it's going to log you in, and then it's going to ask you to set a password. You don't have to set a password. You can just use the magic link all the time, but chances are you're going to want to set up a password because you're going to want to give this login access to your agents as well, right? So once you set up the password, you are going to log in directly into Homebot. You're going to be able to search and look for, a homeowner, all this kind of stuff, and then you can see exactly what's being sent to you. I will walk through that process on Tuesday, step by step, right? That way you guys can see exactly what's going on. One gotcha here, and the reason we're going to bring the Homebot experience into stars is that right now we're only creating one account for every single team, right? So if your team members want to see what goes in Homebot, you are going to have to give them the login registration information, the username and the password that you create here, so they can log in and see all that information, right? I know that's not ideal, which is why we're going to do a follow-up very quickly to bring into stars, but this is the first tier V1 integration, right? So just keep that in mind. You're going to have to share the login and password, but the good news is you guys are getting a login into Homebot. You can use their entire suite. There's a lot of bells and whistles that are associated with that, including what I'll show you about what you can do with FSBOs and expires. Okay, so fantastic. If you again have issues accessing Homebot because you don't know what your email is, where you put in your email and it's the incorrect email, contact support. We will tell you the login email that you gave us so that you can log in and you can see all that information, right? So that is really it for our presentation today on Homebot, right? I know we went through a lot of stuff. We went through it fast. But like I said, we're going to do a whole nother webinar, in the next week by Tuesday that will walk through the details step by step of how to set everything up, how to use it, all that kind of stuff. My ask for all of you right now is to go to ylopo.com Homebot and start completing this form so that we can get all of your imports into our system. We will, once we get all of that information, turn on Homebot for you automatically. Anyone who submits it today or tomorrow, Homebot probably goes out Monday morning first thing, okay? So happy to turn this over now to questions that people have. Barry or Howard, do you want to start curating this and any questions that you might have? I can't believe we finished in an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, I thought this.
I just passed my record. 202 answered questions.
Oh my God.
We realized sort of really late last night. I think it was, Barry that really realized, like, it really is 2 webinars, right? This was the why you should be excited, very high level, why this is exciting, why we're taking seller lead gen, seller nurture, your lenders are going to love it, all that top level stuff. And part 2, guys, really is Tuesday. I mean, there's a lot of amazing questions here, really nitty gritty questions, meat on the bones questions. We're not going to be able to have time to go through all of it, but for sure, Tuesday, we're going to do that. I really want to thank G and Barry, Chris, our CTO, the Homebot team, the product and technology team at Ylopo. I want to impress upon everybody that's on this webinar, you guys do not know, I don't even understand and appreciate how much work, how many gotchas and frightening moments, technical moments there were. And that's why it took so long. It was a Herculean effort. We're not this multi-billion-dollar company with like 200 engineers, right? This is a nimble, agile team that got this together, and we're just at the first level. So just really, really appreciative of everybody that worked on this project. It was a huge project. And I think my 2 favorite comments here, one was, gee, somebody commented on your laugh. They said it's like the mad scientist laugh. Geez, the mad scientist in the lab. So that's so true. And then somebody else said that now that they've seen Barry's dance, they'll never be able to unsee it. So I thought that was really priceless. Anyway.
I understand.
Yeah. I'll leave it to you guys. And so that's all I have to say. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody.
Wait. We're answering questions still, right?
No, I know. I'm just saying
Okay.
that's my last word. I'm done. Which is just thanks for everybody who showed up. We really, really love our Ylopo family. You guys are family to us. Thanks for showing up today. Appreciate you.
Non-disclosure states in America, G.
Still works, yeah. So the data derived here is from a really respected third party. Like I mentioned, they supply RPR data, which is obviously just the US. So anyone in the US, including non-disclosure states, this is going to be active for. Yep, great question. Someone asked, the 500 lead limit for this to be free, is that for team members or the whole team? It's for the whole team, right? So it's for your license, for your account, you give us 500 leads. Don't worry, if you give us 1,000 or 1,500, we're just charging a de minimis fee for that. So it's not a big fee. Our goal, of course, is just to cover some of our costs beyond a certain number, which is why we're charging that fee, which we're passing directly back to Homebot, right? Someone asked the question. Oh, go ahead.
Well, a lot of people are trying to wrap their mind around this 500 number. What qualifies for the 500 versus what doesn't? And if I were to oversimplify it, would it be correct to say that anyone that is a verified seller lead source can be imported in as the 500? Or if it's a Ylopo generated seller lead, they're already in the Homebot and they're not going to count towards the 500. The 500 is for like the alien seller leads, we'll call them.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. So leads already in your Ylopo system doesn't count to that 500. We've got about 60,000 homeowners in our database for all of our clients. That's already covered, right? Same thing for any Ylopo lead generated today or in the future. It's all covered 100% by us, right? So, in reality, 500 leads is probably like closer to 1,000 leads for most clients, right? The 500 are only leads currently in your data that you import into Ylopo, right? That are not circle prospecting, that are not, kind of anything else, right? For how we came up with a 500 limit, again, we did a whole analysis of our clients' database, and we, that number again, accounts for 95 to 98% of our clients. Just to give you a frame of reference, for Homebot, for all of their clients, their average is 250, right? So we're actually giving you 2x that limit because we want to make sure you get all of our leads in a system, and if it's anything above that, we charge you the pass-through rate that we send to Homebot. Awesome. Terry, you asked the question, can we upload ones from StreetText or ZBuyer? Yes, you can. What I would confirm with both of those sources is that because it's your, it's your liability, right? I would shoot an email over to StreetText and over to ZBuyer and say, hey, can you guys confirm that we have TCPA consent to text these leads, or to import these leads and text these leads, or communicate with these leads, right? If they send back an email that says yes, well, they have liability as well, right? So, I would just recommend you double check on that, because if you send alerts yourself without doing that and just make assumptions, you have potential legal liability. And I'm telling you guys, this is serious stuff. I'm hearing about lawsuits all over the place. So great question there. Another question someone asked is, for PPC 2.0, can that be split between buyer and seller, and what is it? So the minimum budget is $600 for PPC. Why is that? Because PPC leads cost more money than social leads, around 2x the cost. I mean, to give you guys a sense, our average PPC lead right now is right around $650 per lead. Our average cost for a social lead today is $2.50, right? So it's like a little more than 2 for 1 right now, which is insane. $2.50 is absolutely insane. That's half the price you guys were paying in January and February, right? But that's why we have a higher budget. Chances are you have to choose at $600 if you want to do buyer or seller. You probably don't have the budget to do both, right? The reason is because seller leads are even more expensive than buyer leads. And so if you allocate like $100 to sellers, you might only get 1 lead, right? If you allocate $600 to sellers, cost per lead is probably somewhere around 10 to 15, maybe as high as 20 in certain areas. So you're going to still get 30 to 50 seller leads with that budget, okay? So you can, if you are above 600, you can split buyer and sellers. If you're under 600, my recommendation, we can always try it, but my recommendation is that you only pick buyer or seller to try it. So a lot of people have asked, okay, well, you guys can, what do we do with our coal and remind data, right? You can still import those into our system just for remarketing, right? So you can tell our client, our team, hey, email support a spreadsheet and say, hey, I have remind coal data, FSBO expired. You can do that, right? And what we'll say back to you is, fantastic, we will import these leads for remarketing only. If someone comes in from remarketing directly into our experience, we get their TCPA consent, we get their approval to import into the system. Guess what? They get set up on Homebot and all the rest of the technology, right? So remarketing is okay for those sources. We do that for Barry. We do that for a lot of clients. We just can't send out email alerts to these people. Will our old seller alerts be changed over automatically? Yes. So if you already have sellers in our system, they will automatically be changed over. However, because we were only using zip codes in the past, right? I can't guarantee you that we have the address for every one of the sellers that you want to set up alerts for. And so my recommendation is just go in your CRM, download those seller alerts one more time, send it to us. That way we can set it up so that all these leads are set up on homeowners or on Homebot alerts, so that you don't have to stress about it in the future. Whew, we are blazing through these.
Not sure if we want to handle this question. There's been several people that I guess aren't YLOPO users. They want to buy YLOPO. Are we handling that, Howard? Are we going to be, is it okay if somebody wants to buy the product? I'm joking. He doesn't get my humor. He never gets my humor. You're muted. You're muted.
You're muted, Howard. You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm multitasking. It's a very, very busy morning. Okay. Yes.
His eyes crossed out. He's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Who do they contact if they want to talk about buying it?
We appreciate your referrals.
Do they just go to ylopo.com and schedule a demo?
Yeah, you can go to ylopo.com, click on request demo. You can request a demo there, or if you email sales@ylopo.com, we'll connect you to someone as well. So look, I mean, we have some sales prospects on this call. You're only getting a peek into one of like 50 features that we have. And so, welcome you to do a demo with us so that we can show you the rest of the suite. Awesome. You know, two questions I want to answer here is one client asked, still don't understand, do we need a lender to have Homebot? No, you don't. We have licensed Homebot for every single client in our system, right? You are all going to get Homebot. However, right now today, your lender partners, if you have one on the Ylopo system, will not be able to receive the alerts or have access to Homebot, right? The reason for that is because if we buy something for the lender, we are buying it for you as the realtor, right? We are not respecting co-marketing or RESPA, right? So in order for this to be compliant, for your lender to access this technology, we as the realtor, we're paying for you, right? For the lender to contribute to, be able to get this with RESPA and co-marketing compliance, they have to go to Homebot and they have to get the license themselves, right? And then you can connect the two accounts, right? Don't worry, if you come on Tuesday, I will walk you through step by step how to do that. And I'll also show you the value to the lender so they can, you can sell it to them, or you can just send them a one-pager that we're going to provide as well. Okay.
Hey, G, there's a lot of questions around the spreadsheet. Column B is client first name, column C is client last name, and then column D is first name, then column E is last name. So it's repeating itself.
Okay, we will fix that. Client name, just so you guys know, is your name, right? Because we want to make sure that we're importing it correctly. And first name, last name is the first name, last name of the lead. So we will get that corrected. And I actually don't want to ask the first, your client name, actually. So I will just send you guys, I will attach a new spreadsheet, but for now you can actually ignore client first name, client last name.
So ignore columns B and C, everybody.
Sorry, just told my CTO to edit that for you guys. So
just had another good question, actually, G. So because there's one main Homebot account, some folks are asking about the different agents. And I went through this myself because the Homebot account was in my name. And what I ended up doing was I changed the account name and the email to be, the brokerage or the team name, so that I could avoid the, the confusion on behalf of the homeowner. And that's why we are actively working on putting the Homeowner Digest, the report into Stars. So your agent just clicks the Stars link and they'll see that report.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's still like 72 more questions.
I know. I'm trying to answer these as fast as possible. Okay.
But Tuesday, right? Tuesday.
We're going to answer a lot of these in the weeds questions then. Someone asked, this is a good question. Can we just add a tag in our CRM to get it into Homebot? Would save you time. I understand that, Chris, and we were considering that, but the problem is we can't police what leads we import, right? We've had a client recently who tagged all of their leads for seller import and imported in 80,000 social prospecting leads, right? We didn't know that. Import in our system, domain got blocked, right? Spam reporter was like 1 to 3%, domain got blocked. And then we had to figure out how we get around that going forward, right? So this is a protective measure for you to make sure we can audit every export that you send to us and give you feedback on what is allowed and not allowed in order to protect you. That's why we don't have that seller tag active for now. In the future, we might, if we see we don't have this problem at all, we might introduce the tag again. Right now, you need to export and send it to us. Jose, you asked a question. What if we already have them in Follow Boss? That's actually what we want you to do, right? Because when you first load your leads into Follow Boss, you can assign those leads to whoever you want. And then you give us the export, we put into our system. When someone has a priority notification, we notify the agent the lead is assigned to, right? If you just give us the spreadsheet and the leads are not in Follow Boss or your CRM, when that lead engages, we will send that lead over to you, but then that lead is going to be round robin to whoever is next on the round robin queue, right? So if you don't want your leads to be round robin, you want it to be assigned to you or a specific agent or whatever is the case, you got to put in your CRM first, do the assignment that you want to do, and then import the leads. So great question. What if we have seller leads that Ylopo has generated? Do I need to import those? No. Leads that Ylopo has generated, because we've captured all of the data associated with them in the right format, you don't have to import them, and they don't count toward your 500 limit. Barry, do you see any other trends in here?
I think we hit the main ones, and I think the others are really specific to their scenario that really should be addressed on Tuesday.
Okay, let me see if I scan through this and see if there's anything else here. So a lot of people are still asking the link for the template. It is, www.ylopo.com/homebot. Okay.
I'm getting like so many text messages and Facebook messages from Ylopo users. Everybody's just freaking excited.
I know. Oh,
but
Ryan,
there's no way we're going to be able to answer all these.
No, yeah. And just come back Tuesday, guys. Please do. We will email, we will text you, we will put a link to register in the YSC. We can walk through step by step exactly how you set all this up if you have questions, and all the features and how you use that. Like I said, we have 19 pages of FAQ type nitty gritty stuff in our knowledge base. That's how complicated this integration is. So you will have to come into that. We have a really good question here. Can we import homeowners from multiple states? So for example, if a large referral business can want to set it up out-of-state sellers with the Homebot, is that possible? Answer is yes. You can set up any address in the United States onto these alerts, and it will work. So you go ahead and add anyone, even if they're not in your MLS, it will work with Homebot. What is the URL for Homebot? Answer that. Can you repeat where the login is, the web address? It is just, so yeah, if you guys want to log into Homebot once you have done the export, it is either a drop down in mission control where you can actually press, log into Homebot, or if you don't want to do that, you can just Google search Homebot login, and you will be able to, log into Homebot, right? So if I type in Homebot login, oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Homebot login. You can either click here and it'll have a how-to, or if you click on this real estate agent, because you're a real estate agent link, you can click login at the very top, right? Or you can just go to their homepage and press login. So a couple of different ways for you to log in. Can you type the link again? I don't see it under marketing yet. Oh yeah, you will not see it in under Homebot yet, because we haven't done an import for you. It is only going to be active once we do an import. So go ahead, get us that spreadsheet, import it, and you're going to probably see it on Monday. A lot of questions here about getting this presentation. We will edit this up like ASAP, like today. We will send it out in an email to everyone, post it in YSC, and also we will put it under our media center, which is ylopo.com/media. So you'll be able to see it in the afternoon.
I think we've got time for like 2 more questions, G, then we're gonna need to wrap it up.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm just typing answers here. Yes, you should definitely exclude FSBOs, expireds that you buy that you're purchasing. Don't include those. If the address, okay, so Lisa, if you give us an address that is incorrect, right? Let's say you give us 123 Main Street for John Smith, right? And that address does not work, right? If 123 Main Street, Los Angeles, California is a real address, guess what? They're going to receive a Homebot alert for that address, right? Nothing we can do about that. If the address does not exist, we're still going to send them a seller alert. It's just not going to have a button for Homebot, right? You can go into Stars and update their address. and then we'll start sending them out. But on the consumer side, they're either going to get a wrong home if it's incorrect, or it will not send out if that address doesn't exist. If there's other things that you think we can do there that is interesting, let us know, because I can see how that is a point of leakage, quote unquote, for engagement. We'll kind of figure out how to solve that. Last question. Oh, Nick, you asked a good question. Can we add a Homebot sign-up link to direct mail and other ads? So, we are experimenting with a seller lead generation funnel right now, right? You saw it in the lead generation side. Once that is tested and proven, we are going to replace the what's my home worth or home valuation section of your branded site with this new link, right? If you want to take that link, you want to put it on postcards, you want to do all that kind of stuff, go for it. You can absolutely do that. Okay, I think that is it. Once again, everyone, thank you for joining us. We've still got 350 people on this webinar, which is fantastic. Thank you for staying for the whole thing. Next Tuesday, we're going to do a deep dive. For the next 2 days, please submit your Excel spreadsheet. We're going to get it imported. You will start seeing Homebot on Monday, and everything else is going to flow through. My expectation is I want all 1,600 of our clients to get up on Homebot. So if you haven't done your import, expect to be contacted by your account manager in the near future to get all of that done. All right. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time. As Barry's dancing photo showed, we are more excited about this than any other release we've had, at least for this year. I think this is going to be our Raya for the year. That's how popular it's going to be. And so get your imports in, ylopo.com/homebot, and we will take care of the rest. Thank you, everyone.